It's 2021, not when I filmed this, but it's 2021 when the video comes out. And I want to do a fun little video. And 2020 was actually a really good year for my channel. A lot of you guys subscribed. I hit my 500 mark and I announced the new contest of 1,000 subscribers. We're giving away an N80 Nikon 35mm film camera. Overall, the shoots I was able to do, I am grateful for. The videos I was able to make, I'm extremely grateful for. And the things I was able to accomplish for my channel and with my channel over the last year, I'm extremely grateful for. And I'm extremely happy that I was able to do it. And I was extremely grateful that the year 2020, you guys joined me for so much of this journey. And so I wanted to share the top 5 photos I took over the entirety of this year. I've used all the shoots in my B-roll previously, and part of it in the new intro we have, which I'm gonna have to redo because I don't really like it. I really want to say that I'm really grateful, and I'm ready to jump into this video. So I'm in front of my laptop at my kitchen table right now. We have this really nice natural light coming in, so it kind of adds a really soft tone to the photo. And then I've got my purple grow lights and my little green strip LEDs to add a little more contrast. It's very aesthetically pleasing, but I want to go over the my personal 5 favorite images that I shot this year. None of them have been released on my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, any of my social media so far. I just kind of haven't had time with school and work to focus on that. I really wanted to focus on creating content for you guys. So if you do want to go follow me, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I'll put the links down below. I will be more active on that in 2021. I figured out some time management ideas that I'm going to use to try to make sure that I'm consistently posting on there as well as here on YouTube. But let's jump into number 5, you guys. This is the shoot I did with Coda and her friend Sierra, and what I loved about this image is they wanted to recreate an image from when they were in high school. And it was an image that they had taken on accident when they were just kind of hanging out at the park one day, and they wanted to recreate it. And this turned out to be one of Coda's favorite images too. But as you can see, Coda's eyes, like, yeah, there's some white showing, probably more white than I would prefer, but she's looking over and she has a smile of just straight content. Now this was almost a candid photo. I had posed them, but I told them to just hang out and relax, and pretended like I was getting my camera ready for several minutes until they got really comfortable. So as you can see Sierra in the background, her eyes are closed. She has a very just contempt smile. And Coda, I said, hey Coda, look over here. And she just quickly glanced over, and I was able to capture this image. And what's great about it is the color contrast of her blue and purple hair, along with the roots starting to show just a little bit, and the green grass. And then you have Sierra's black hair in the background, their black outfits. And if you look just close enough, you can see a few freckles on Coda's face. And it just kind of adds to that sweet, young contempt, warm spring day kind of feel to the image. And it's one of my brighter images, especially for the outfits they're wearing. They're going for a post-apocalyptic look with their outfits, and I was able to still capture that warmth of, you know, a teenager's spring day, or maybe the first day of summer break, or you're ditching classes. If it was me, it'd be ditching classes. So number 4 was actually a shoot that I did with Ari and her friend Cass. And Cass is really awesome. I'm sad that she moved to California because I would have liked to work with her a lot more, because she's very photogenic and she's very easy to photograph. But they wanted to do a best friend shoot before Cass moved off to California. And I convinced them to climb into a tree over by the river, and I was able to capture this image. And this image is the perfect example of f-stop and bokeh. So if you guys check out my video on f-stop, I will link it right up above. But as you can see, her eye is crystal clear, and parts of her hair are crystal clear, but then it blurs as it flows down from the camera, and it blurs as it flows back, and then the actual foliage and trees in the background are completely blurred out. And the way you get that is with a really low f-stop number. So this was shot at f1.8, 100 ISO, probably 1/125th of a second, possibly faster. It was kind of a sunny day that day. But even the tree bark in the foremost left-hand corner of this photo, you can see where it turns into being in focus and out of focus. And the autumn leaves, because it was in the fall when we took this photo, but the autumn leaves, the kind of the yellows in the background foliage that's kind of blurred out, contrast really, really well with that auburn red hair. And then her eye, you can just make out what color it is. Not quite, because there's just enough shadow, enough artistic shadow, where you can't exactly tell without really looking at it. And I wanted to draw the viewer's attention to that. I wanted to draw you to her eye. I wanted you to look at it. The eye is the window of the soul. And you're able to see that, yeah, it is bluish. It's a bluish or a greenish eye with that auburn red hair and just the perfect amount of focus. And I didn't use a lens baby for this. This was all shot at a really low f-stop, and I just picked the perfect angle. So this is definitely my number 4 photo of 2020. So number 3 is actually a photo that we did with Bailey. She has shown up in a lot of my videos as of late. She's modeled with me quite a bit, but she really wanted to do a fall shoot. She just said, I want to do a white girl fall shoot. Again, this was the same location by the river, and again, you can see that f-stop usage put into play. It was an overcast day that day, so we had a really beautiful soft light coming through the sky, and her hand is blurry, and that was an artistic choice. In the photo opposite of this one, her hand is within focus, but her face is blurred out, but I didn't like it as much. She liked that photo more, but I liked this one more. So with this one, you can see very crystal clear eyes. She's focusing on the plant. She's not looking at the camera, not looking at the lens. She is focused on the leaf, the fall, the foliage, the beauty of the nature around her. And this park actually isn't that naturey. I mean, it's like 4 square blocks of trees and river, but it's smack dab in the middle of the city. So it's all about angles. Behind her, you could probably see the highway with all the cars on it, but the bokeh from the low f-stop number, which I think this was shot at probably f2.2, maybe f1.8, probably 100 ISO, and probably 1/500th of a second, or 1/200th of a second, 250, somewhere around those lines. I'm not 100% sure. You can definitely see that grasp of nature, that innocence in the eyes, you know, that soft beauty, that soft smile, where she's just completely content with where she's at. There's not a ton of color contrast in this other than the yellows against her black hair and her gray beanie, but other than that, there's not a ton of color contrast. Her outfit and her hair was picked against that background because it stood out, and she is the focus of this image, and because she's the focus, I wanted her to be what pops out, especially because she's not in the middle of the image, she's in the right hand quadrant of the image, rule of thirds. Probably actually not rule of thirds. So number two was my Nikon D50 review, and I will link that one right up there. The last 2 were both shot with Nikon D50-300s, and I'll link that video up there as well, but this one was shot with a Nikon D50, and this is a photo of Jess. Jessica is absolutely one of my favorite models to work with. I've worked with her a lot. She lives in the same town as I do, so it makes it very easy. She actually found this building and they're restoring it. It's part of an art collective here in the town that I live in, and so they're kind of restoring it, but there's all kinds of like cool little bits of rust. And this was actually shot end of fall. There wasn't a lot of trees left, but she wanted to do a fall shoot, but she hadn't had time to while we still had great foliage. We had a big windstorm, all the leaves came down, so it's like, well, let's find those autumn colors in a location downtown. There's a lot of red bricks, there's a lot of, you know, kind of auburn bricks that we could shoot against. She's like, well, I know this really great location. It's like 2 blocks from the downtown area. Let's go check it out. And so we went and checked it out, and we found this amazing location. But with this one, we got a lot of great shots. And if you go watch the Nikon D50 video, you'll see a lot of those shots. But this is my favorite of the shoot. It's full of passion, it's full of drama, and I don't mean drama like, she stole my boyfriend. I mean like, drama as in there's a lot going on. It's a dramatic photo. And the way I did this, and I'll do a video on how to do action shots like this, but the basis of it is I counted her down and I shot at a really fast shutter speed. So I'll link my shutter speed video up there. And what's beautiful about this image is the skirt that she chose, because she knew this location before I did, matches almost perfectly with the paint on the door and some of the paint on the metal building around her. And the orange she chose for her scarf and the red color of her hair matches with the color of the rust, and it matches with the color of kind of where the wood is starting to rot away along the edges. And then you can see a little bit of her tattoo. It's like a skull. It's really cool. Right on her collarbone, and then the black shirt, the black boots, and the fishnets provide that contrast that we want in order to make the image really pop out, so she doesn't look like a piece of the background, which is not what you want at all. You want her to stand out. And actually, I retook this photo about 3 times before I was able to get it perfectly, and because she's right up against that wall, and I was shooting at f1, no, it was f2.2, I believe. There isn't a lot of that bokeh effect in the background, but I wasn't wanting the bokeh effect in the background on this image because I wanted that contrast of her shirt and her boots and the fishnets, as well as her skin tone against that background, whereas the rest of her outfit matched the background itself, but only color-wise, only in tonage. And this one was actually edited to be a more warm photo. I wanted to bring some of the fall to life, even though it was right at the beginning of winter, and it was just kind of gray out, so I wanted to bring some of that fall color and that fall beauty into the image, and I think I was able to accomplish that really, really well. So from number 1, you might recognize that as Ari. Now Ari is someone I've worked with since before I started shooting professionally. She's one of the models at the photography class I took, and if you recognize the outfit was featured when I did the interview with Nick, which I will link down in the description below, as well as a second channel me and Nick have, Cinematic Nick Picks, where we review movies, and I believe I did the Nikon D5300 video with that outfit on that same day, and I will link that down in the description below too if I don't have any cards left. But in this one you can clearly see that she has her tattoo. She's up against blue bricks and white, and it's kind of different shades of blue, which matches that dress perfectly. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want the colors to clash, and I wanted them to kind of blend together, and I wanted Ari's new haircut and her skin tone and the pearls that she was wearing to be the contrast against the wall. I wanted the focus to be on her. And this image, she's not looking at the camera, she's not looking anywhere, she's got her eyes closed, and she's actually actively looking away. It creates a certain feeling. To me, it's a really empowering feeling. It's, she's slicking back her new hair. She just went super short. It used to be really, really, really long, and she like chopped it off. And it's got a really empowering feeling to me. I think Ari said that she felt similar about it, and we actually went out and had to go shoot with it because as soon as she got it, she just absolutely wanted to go shoot with it and see how it looked on camera. And so that is my number 1 photo of 2020. And the reason for it is I got the color schemes exactly how I wanted them. I got the action, the drama, and the passion in the photo that I wanted. And I pulled off a really cool lighted, so like instead of the warm tones of earlier photos, a more cool image without throwing her skin tone too far off and without creating a dark photo. A lot of times when I use cool lighting, it's to create more darker images. This is still a powerful image. It's a warmer image in the sense that it doesn't feel dark, it doesn't feel like it's a dark, gritty photo like some of my other work, and I'll throw one of those up real quick. But it feels like a lighter, more lighthearted and fun work, even though that cooler coloring to it. And so that's definitely probably my favorite photo of 2020. So I want to thank you guys again for joining me for 2020, and hopefully here in 2021 we'll be doing a lot more. We'll see once the medicine comes out and whether or not we can go back to normal life or not. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you guys know right when I update. I've got some new merch up, so go check out my merch store. I'll have a link for it down below, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Let's hope that 2021 is a good year. Bye.